Here's a response to the question of shock of God and any other theists or Christians who are so obsessed with it. The question is, give me proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. Now, I will answer this question, but I won't do it in this video. Now, the problem is, the question makes no sense, because let's analyze the question. Give me proof and evidence. Now, English is not my mother language, as you might hear, but I think that evidence is like an indication and proof is conclusive, so only proof should do, right? So the question becomes, prove to me that atheism is accurate and correct. Now, as you are hopefully aware of, atheism means not believing there is a God or multiple gods. So your question becomes, prove to me that you don't believe a God or more gods exist, which makes no sense. It's like in court when a murderer says he didn't do it, and you know, he was running away with the knife in his hand with the blood of the victim on the knife, but still he says, well, I didn't do it. I'm not buying it. And like you're asking, well, prove to me that you're not buying it. I just don't. I'm not buying it. So your question is flawed. It's actually a question fail. But now, so what I think you mean to ask is, prove to me that there is no God. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. So that's what I think you're asking. Now I'll answer that question for you. But first, I have a question for you. Do you believe in vampires? Now, that wasn't a question, because I'm going to assume that you honestly believe no vampires exist. Well, prove it to me. Give me proof that no vampires exist. Now, before you go answer that, I have proof that vampires do exist. It's right here in this book. Yeah, that's right. This book tells about the life of a vampire. His name is Dracula, but he is a vampire. And before you say, well, it's just a book, you know, it is true, because he lived in Transylvania, and the place exists. Transylvania exists. In fact, it's a region in current-day Romania. So Transylvania exists. Not only does Transylvania exist, even the castle in which Dracula lived exists. Well, here it is. It's not much of a castle anymore, it's just ruins now, but you can clearly see it used to be a castle. You can go to Romania, you can touch the castle. So it exists, right? Well, not only does the place exist, but the person also exists. Dracula was actually Vlad the Impaler. Dracula is in the language, I think it's Romanian, but I'm not sure. In that language means son of Dracul. And Dracul was his father's name. So he's Vlad the Impaler. He did exist. You can look it up. It's on Wikipedia. It's everywhere. It's on reliable sources. So Dracula did exist. The place where he lived. Well, it exists. It's all there. So it must be true, right? If vampires do exist. Now, I have more evidence for you. Just look at this. It's a news clip. It's a video from the news from, I think it's the 1st or the 2nd of July from this year, 2010. Let's have a look at it.
According to Colorado State Patrol, a local woman was driving down an unlit dirt road near 20 and K roads late Sunday night when she put her SUV in reverse and went into a canal. She told first responders she put the car in reverse because a vampire was chasing her. Fortunately, she was not injured.
You see, this lady, she's seen a vampire. She has seen a vampire. You just don't back up with your truck and run it in the ditch for nothing. She actually saw a vampire. So there are witnesses that it's just proof vampires do exist. So now you prove to me that they don't. Show me proof that they don't, or tell me proof just through logic that they don't. You see, what I know what you're gonna say is like, that book, it has no value. It's just a book. While I can show you a dozen other books which tell the lives of vampires. So let's agree on that. A book is not proof that anything exists. And the lady, well, not sure, she must have seen something, but it couldn't have been a vampire, right? Well, yeah, let's say an event needs at least 10 people who witnessed it before it is reliable, right? Even then, prove to me that vampires do not exist. So what I'm asking of you is one of two things. Either A, rephrase your question so that it makes sense and it can be answered, or B, prove to me that no vampire exists. Should be easy enough. If you do one of these two things within the next 2 weeks, no, well, let's give you till New Year. Yeah. If you do one of these two things before New Year, then I will give you conclusive evidence that no God exists. Also, there is another thing I would like to ask you. It has nothing to do with the vampires or atheism. Why can no one reply to your videos? Why are replies disabled? If you look at my video, it's down there. Everyone can reply. What have you to hide? What are you afraid of? Just wondering, it's like with most Christians, Christian fundamentalists, you can't comment. And I've been wondering why it is, and because you do it, I think you can give me a good answer to that. I was just wondering about that. So yeah, I'll see you before New Year, I hope.